Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the realm of bizarre news. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl. We start off with a trivia question. Let me extricate it here from its paper prison. The question: which actor portrayed Genghis Khan in the 1956 film The Conqueror? Multiple choice, inverse alphabetical order. Was that John Wayne, Robert Taylor, Tyrone Power, or Gary Cooper? Now the prize, the only prize for the correct answer, one pat on the back that you'll have to administer to yourself. Heck of a lot better than a slap on the belly with a wet trout. Now, speaking of the Mongols, there's a new theory that they actually triggered the little ice age of Europe that began in 1500. We have to go back to 1346, when the Mongols were besieging a fort at Kafi on the Crimean coast occupied by Italian traders. They were led by Janibeg. He was winning, but then suddenly his warriors began dropping dead from bubonic plague. He realized he'd have to retreat, but before he did so, he came up with a brilliant stratagem of catapulting the corpses of his warriors over the wall of the fort. That infected many of the Italians. Janibeg retreated, and the Italians returned to Europe, but they carried with them the plague. And over the ensuing years, 25 million Europeans died of the Black Death, all because of Janibeg's stratagem. We don't know if he realized how successful it was, but it was indeed a brilliant maneuver. Now, that's not the end of the story, because people began fleeing from the farms to the cities, and as a result, millions of trees sprung up. And by 1500, they had drawn down so much CO2, they caused the beginning of the little ice age that lasted until 1800. An example of bioclimatological warfare, yes. Now for the trivia question again. Which actor portrayed Genghis Khan in 1956's film The Conqueror? Was it John Wayne, Robert Taylor, Tyrone Power, or Gary Cooper? You say John Wayne, absolutely right. You know, many critics have panned that film, but I think you'd rather have a guy like John Wayne portraying Genghis Khan than say a wimp like me, right? Now, Genghis Khan's name actually was just a title meaning noble warrior. His real name, Temujin. Now to tell you about Dr. Alzheimer. He was born in Bavaria in 1864. His first name Alois, A-L-O-I-S. In 1906, while working in Munich, he came across a patient, Auguste, a 51-year-old woman who was totally senile. He developed the theory that plaques in her brain were causing the premature senility. And this paper is well received by the medical community, but not outside of it. Then in 1915, tragically, at just age 51, Alzheimer died of heart trouble. I say tragically because if he could have just held out for another 80 years till the mid-1990s, he would have realized that everyone on planet Earth knows his name, that every day his name is spoken. Even another 75 years if he could have found out. What a prideful thing, and he missed out on it. Darn! Now here's a stocking, and this belongs to my mother. I have to get back before she finds out I took it. Pertains to two girls in the town of Eberholzen, Germany. They wanted to celebrate Germany's recent victory over Turkey in the semifinals of the Euro 2008 soccer match. So they sneaked onto a farm and went to a manure pit with stockings. They're going to fill them with manure for so-called manure bombs. But one of the gals slipped into the manure pit, almost drowned it. Her friend had to pull her out. She also got covered in manure. They fled without the manure bombs. You know, I say these are candidates for our Doofus of the Week award. If you want to celebrate a victory, don't use manure, use chocolate. Doofuses, 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 doofuses. Now until next time, may the power of the cosmos be with you. Yes, yes, yes. And don't make manure bombs and slip into a manure pit.